Yo. Whoop. All right. Welcome once again to the live stream. I'm just getting a couple of things ready, but good morning to everyone from Australia, if you're coming from there, or if it's good afternoon in America or wherever else you might be coming from. So as always, just let me know in the chat who's here. It's always good to know who's actually watching and who's joining the stream. Say g'day in the chat. And yeah, let's get into it. So I've just got to adjust a couple of things. So there's the stream there. Where's my chat gone? Hang on, I can't see. And I've got to go let Hato in. Give me a sec. Come in, come in, come in.
How are you?
Hey, we just went live. So come in, man. Shut the door. Alrighty. My chat has disappeared from. There we go. There. Cool. hopefully it shows up. There we go. Oh, that's beautiful. Now I can see that properly. Cool, from California, Eldon. Dude, thanks for joining, man. Have you joined the live stream before or been on the channel? Let us know. Yeah. So today, while I'm waiting for Eldon to answer that, we're gonna do a bit of hardware mixing. So we've got lots of cool gear in the studio. If you're not familiar with the studio, we've got distressors and some DBX compressors and stuff down this side. And on the other side, we've got all our other cool gear, Sound Sculptor EQs, some compressors up top there, 1176, some optos right there, some great Z&H EQs that we're going to mix with today. And then let me pull this back a bit so we can see. We've got the Behringer 369, which I love on drums in particular, and the Cranborbe Brick Lanes. I'm just going to adjust this camera for a second because it went weird there. Give me 1 second. This stuff is so much to manage sometimes. There we go. And then now it should be in widescreen for that camera. There we go. It's a bit wider. So we've got the brick lanes down here, which are also really, really excellent. Eldon, I enjoy your videos, especially the Behringer. Yeah, cool. We'll definitely be doing some Behringer stuff today on drums. They just are good. The 369 here is just really, really, really cool. Kind of indispensable for me nowadays. Do a lot of cool stuff with that all the time. Cool, we've got about like 9 viewers at the moment, which is sick. All right, we might get rolling. Do you want to do some patching for me? Sure. Cool, so a thing we typically do when mixing, actually, I should take it back a step. So I have a session that we tracked yesterday. We've got a big secret plugin that's coming out next week. So if anyone's keen, we're going to be mixing with that plugin on next Monday's live stream. That's going to be a really cool one. That's if it ends up being the right day. We might even have to do a Tuesday. I don't know. Anyway, we'll see. But yeah, we'll do a mixing session on this secret plugin that's coming out soon. I can't say anything more about it, but we're basically recording some tracks, some punk kind of tracks for those sessions. Hato, do you want to do kick in and the kick bus and the snare bus on 1 and 2? And we'll do, we might go brick lanes. So brick lanes into the 560 EQs. Yeah, on 1 and 2. Yeah, so, well, Hato's, you know, patching in for me over there. Yeah, we'll kind of, I'll show you, take you through the session and kind of show you what we've done. So very similarly to the stuff we did last week, where I showed how we'd track a drum session here in the studio. I tracked yesterday, and I'll show you kind of what we've got here right now. So we've got like a pretty typical setup for here, a kick in, which is like a D112, kick out, which would have been the FET 47, and then a sub kick, which is just like a speaker sub kick. Snare top and bottom, the Warm Audio Retro 64s, for anyone that's interested. Hats is the mic parts, KM84 style small diaphragm condenser. Toms were the WA 47, 47 UA 47 style thing. Crotch mic's actually gone. Let's get rid of that in a second. Ride mic was just like a cheap Octava thing, but that's muted. That's not used on this song. Overheads were my S12s from micparts.com, which are like a C414. We were lucky enough to have an R88. I'll show you that in a second. An R88 ribbon, which just sounded incredible in the room. And then my ribbons we did in stereo in the dining room. So some people were really impressed with the sound of the dining room mic we did last week in tracking. we tried something different yesterday where we did that in stereo with a pair of ribbon mics in Bloomline configuration. So if anyone's got any questions, let me know about that stuff. Just throw them up in the comments. How's it going? Cool. And yeah, feel free to chat in the channel. Like if you're new, just shout out in the comments. Definitely go and let me know who you are, who's here. Say g'day so I know who I'm talking to. Yeah, and then I'm going to start playing some stuff. And yeah. Hang on a sec. Hey? Yeah, kick and snare for now. Morning. I've got that funny thing where it's going to solo. I've got a solo. That's right. Hang on one sec, guys. It's going to mute me when I solo stuff and you won't hear me. And it'll stitch me up big time. So there's this one little thing I have to do here, which is, what button is it? There we go. So now when I solo stuff, I should still be playing. Yeah, there we go. Cool. And you'll hear me. Hato, you need a mic as well. There's a DJI mic in there if you want to grab one. Cool. Pull this down. Now. All right. So let's solo up some stuff and have a listen.
Hello. Yep. Cool.
Here's the stereo dining mic pair. And good morning, everyone. Thanks, Mustafa. Kev's back again. Good to see some people back from last week. Legendary. Yeah, so that's the dining mic, but in stereo. And why don't I actually just show you the track first? I haven't even shown you the track. So it's this kind of Idols-inspired kind of song with my sister-in-law on vocals, and the person who produced and wrote the track was Lachlan Morgan. Shout out to Lachlan. He's killing it at the moment. You'll see him more on the channel actually, doing bits and pieces real soon. But anyway, so yeah, he wrote these songs and then we came in and tracked and produced them and stuff. And Sarah, my sister-in-law, did vocals and bass. And Lachlan did guitars and I did drums. Anyway, R88s. Oh, yeah, and I'll show you the track. There you go. Anyway,
that's so sick. I haven't heard that before.
Yeah, so my sister-in-law loves punk rock, and we're trying to get her to like really get into like heavier stuff at the moment. So she went nuts last night when we tracked vocals on this and really went into it. And yeah, it come out great already. What you should know is this is very, very rough. This is pretty much straight off the desk with some very slight EQs. No compression yet on drums or anything. This is just straight tracked. So there's no real processing going on whatsoever. And you can hear that everything's sounding pretty good because we tracked through analog like we did last week. So drums are tracked through preamps, EQs, console stuff. The bass, same deal, vocal, same deal. Like we process stuff in tracking to try and get the arrangement sounding as finished as possible and dialed in as possible. So when we get to mixing, it's just easy and fun, and we can just make cool moves. I like this track. Cheers, Kev. Reminds me of old Sonic Youth. Yeah, it's got that kind of Sonic Youth vibe, a bit of the Emil and the Sniffers kind of stuff going on. That, like, you know, modern post-punky kind of vibe. Would you just compress the room mics to taste and then blend? No EQ. Drums sound great already. Good job tracking. Yeah, cheers. With room mics, it depends. It depends entirely on the song. So the dining mics, once again, are running through the Behringer 369 in stereo from yesterday. Yeah, and so it was basically them into that. And I did a bit of EQ on the way in on both pairs of room mics. Just scooping some of the low mid stuff that can get in the way of guitars and bass typically. So it's really like tracking with forethought on what's going to be where. And because we had a demo to work with, we kind of knew sonically where things were going to land. So it was like a cool project to work on. Yeah, good question. So what I'm going to do, we're going to start soloing up stuff and starting to process analog styles. The first thing, typically I'll start with obviously on drums, but Jim Lil, Legacy, dude, love to see you in the chat. Yeah. Someone in the comments, just on the Jim Lil thing, someone in the comments recommended I watch his stuff on recreating song, or like listening to song. He has like a side channel where he breaks down songs, and that was a very big eye-opener to me on his limited knowledge of other genres of music outside Nashville. Kind of explained a lot actually about Jim Lil and his musical, you know, knowledge, and his very narrow, understanding. So yeah, whatever, he can do whatever he wants to do, and we'll make music the way we want to make it. And that was kind of the inspiration to doing this again, like starting to jump into live streams and show people why we use analog. For those who think the drums sound good already, I'm going to solo them up. And yeah, just have a listen just in solo. There might be some rough edits because the edit I did for the live stream this morning isn't the final edit. I'm going to go back into the original session and edit it really like tidy. So that if there's some dodgy cuts that you hear, that's just me doing a rough edit this morning to get it ready for the live stream. So ignore any kind of crossfades that don't sound 100% or anything. But yeah, I'll show you and we'll kind of kick it off. So there's some like gating stuff that's a bit weird. We'll go in there. There are gates on toms, on toms and snares and shells and stuff at the moment. So I'll have to go in there and just adjust that. I can hear it chopping off the snare a little bit. Can we hear just the dining mic? Yeah. I did show that just a second ago, but I'll show you again. And all that's on them is a little bit of EQ to scoop some mids at the moment further, and just some roll-off stuff. You can hear some sketchy edits in there, so just ignore those for today. But yeah, cool. So that's that. Then, God, I hate when that happens with that toolbar down there, because it just stitches you up. God, how do I get rid of that? Super annoying. There we go. That's how. All right. So what I'm going to start with is kick and snare, as I said. And what we typically do is we will have our kick in, kick out, and kick sub, and then our snare top and bottom grouped to a bus. So that way, for instance, so I've got my kick bus, for instance. And I've got trigger on here, just for anyone that's curious. Trigger is only, doing gating. It's just a very good gate plugin. I'm not actually using any samples. That's over here on the mix knob. There's no sample being triggered. It's that what you're hearing is just what we tracked on the day. So this is kick in. And it was an AKG, and then kick out was a pretty typical woofy kind of sound there, and then the sub kick. Lots of 50 hertz in that sub kick. Put the EQs down, sorry. My email, mitch@thediyrecordingstudio.com. Yeah, hit me up there, mitch@thediyrecordingstudio.com. Moppy, good morning from the Upper Hunter. Thanks, dude. What's your actual name? I'd be keen to know who you are from, whereabouts in the Hunter you're from and who you are, because, yeah. And if you ever want to drop by the studio, man, hit me up. Oh, yes, that depth. Yes. Rano, greetings from Finland, short break and soon new session in the mix. Very cool. Cool. All right. So anyway, what I'm going to do is solo up this kick and then we're going to start processing this bad boy through the, did we say Brick Lanes? Yeah. We're on Brick Lanes. Yeah. Cool. Cool. So if anyone's familiar with the Brick Lanes, that weight in the sub is great. Yeah, it's a DIY one. We can go grab it and show you later if you want. We just did I've got a video on my channel about how I built it. I built it with my daughter one weekend, it's like for fun. And we nicknamed it the bucket sub because the speaker itself is mounted inside just a little Bunnings bucket from like a hardware store. We call it Bunnings in Australia, kind of like a hardware depot in America or whatever. Yeah, and yeah, it's like really subby, like 50 hertz, and it kind of complements the other two mics because it goes so much lower. So I actually just coincidentally really like it. It's pretty good as a sub kick mic. And you don't need lots of it in the mix. You'll see the fader's pretty low. It's just that little bit of extra weight. Yeah, the bucket sub. Yeah, yeah, it's a good one. All right, so hopefully. Oh, you know what we've got to do, Hound? Now, this is a bugbear of mine with Cubase. They're such a pain. What they do is they don't have is presets for your external instruments for your routing internally. So you'll see me jump in here and do it. It's a bit annoying, but now we should be good. Why aren't we getting to the Brick Lanes? Oh, hang on. Hang on a sec. Brick Lane. Oh, you're in the wrong patch, that's all.
Is it?
Not inserts. We've got to go interface. So, out. It'll be interface, out, and ins. Remember the top ones? Yeah, the old way. I know what you're doing. You did it the right way for all right, and that's clipping. All right, so I'll cut to, not that one. Here we go. So I might need to lower this actually. Hang on. Give me a sec, guys.
I've done the same with the giant bottle from those office water dispensers. That's a cool idea.
What do you say? I've done the same with the giant bottle. Oh, cool. Yeah, very cool. All right. You must want 8 more of those Brick Lanes. Talk about do-it-all compressor. I want that MC4. Yeah, no, I've got to cut back. Yeah, the MC4. I actually spoke to... I'm going to take my mic back down. God, I'm so loud. Yeah, I might cut it that way. Yeah, the MC4 is still not available yet. I spoke to Sean from Cranborbe just the other day on some stuff, so to see where things are going. Hopefully they're out soon. You can imagine that all companies are suffering because of supply chain issues globally, so there's a delay on everything that's new coming to market at the moment, which is a bit of a bummer. Yeah, what can you do? It seems fine now, I don't know. Anyway, cool, so let's start making some noise, eh? I don't want to talk too much. All right, so kick drum is going through channel 1 on the Brick Lanes. So that's the Brick Lane compressing there. And then what I'm going to do is grab some EQ, which was actually running through anyway, and we'll just dial that in. Cool, and I'm just going to bypass that. Cool, and you can hear exactly that, you know, it's adding all that weight to a kick drum. The Brick Lane, I've found, I've got a setting on there at the moment to get it close to like a distressor-y kind of saturation, but it also lends lots of weight, still much more than like a classic distressor will. And then those graphic EQs, the 560s, are just excellent for drums. I hate the SM57 with a goddamn passion. Yeah, there we go. High ground. Cheers, man. 4 spaces in a 500 rack, kind of that. You need more compressors and EQs. I actually have heaps of compressors. We are about to build more preamps. So we have more analog pre's for tracking drums and stuff like that. So yeah, they'll be coming into the rack soon. There's always going to be more gear, don't you worry. That 57 sound, it needs smoothing. Believe it or not, 57 track, you record. Yeah, a 57 can be okay. Like, I'm not totally against them. I'm trying to use them less though. I'm finding better mics for the same jobs that I'd typically use a 57 for. So there's our kick. And then once I'm doing my drums, I will typically clip a little bit just to control transients. So let me just show you that. So I always have a clipper. and it just keeps things level. Whoa, what's going on with this other send to the left there? It's weird, that shouldn't be there. Getting another out, just mute that. Strange. All right, cool. Sorry. If anyone was getting crazy stuff in their left speaker, I apologize. There was something weird with my OBS that I've got to fix, but anyway. That Roswell cab mic, all you need. Yeah, the Roswell cab mic on guitar is super dope. Some good chats going on in the thing there. Pretty much against 57 for anything over 100 hertz. Yeah, it can get gnarly. Cool. All right, let's keep going. So same on snare. I've got just trigger doing, God, so much. Whoa. What the, hang on, whoops. Here we go. Oh God. I've got trigger just doing on snare drum and snare bottom. And then just some basic EQ. And we were EQing on the way in, so it doesn't need much. The snare's sounding pretty good. I'll turn the clipper off. And then, yeah, we've got like a pretty solid, you know, analog produced snare sound there. And running in parallel, we will run a parallel shells bus in a minute through the actual distressors is one of my go-tos for those. We'll do that in a minute. Got the Roswell to test out. Loudon mics for the task. Yeah, cool. Yeah, there was something funny going on. I don't know why it was sending to the left there. It's an old, I don't know. There's something weird going on. Anyway, apologies. There's always these bugs to figure out with live streaming. So let's get going on snare. Oops. Phone. So same deal. It'll be Brick Lane number 2 this time, going to the other 560. Give me one sec, guys. I've just got to go into, there's a funny thing I've got to do with these, which is really annoying sometimes. It's the dual mono thing. That's going to be so annoying. Anyway, give me a sec. Where is, God, it's always something silly. So there's a setting to get these separate. They shouldn't link, but it's linking through the back of the Behringer thing. It's like, there's a trick with getting these to link in stereo, these thing. Snappy, I like that. Press to talk. You have a mic set to duck. Yeah, I have a thing that mutes. It's Mute-O-Matic to mute my mic, so you don't get any mic spill when I'm playing back. Yeah, It's real snappy. I've got it on the 1176 style compressor setting. I've just got to jump into the PDF for the Cranborbe. Just give me 1 second. Because there's this funny thing. Now, I don't know how nerdy you want to get today, but the Cranborbe has this crazy amount of stuff that you can get into in the sub menu. And what I need to get to is the side chain linking function and get it on mono. Left long press. So left. And I basically have to, oh, just went past it. I'll show you. So we're going through the settings and then we have to de-link it basically so they won't feed to each other. And then hopefully it won't do that now. All right, so that's the compression done. And then EQ, let's flatten this out to start with. Oh. And while I'm doing this, do you want to patch in the toms, the 2 toms? Mm-hmm. So that'll be, I haven't even set those up. We'll do them on 3 and 4. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Tom 1 and 2 on 3 and 4, and just do the Neve MP573s into the 163s. You know that chain we do. Yeah. Cool. The Brick Lane gives the Distressor a real run for its money as the most versatile compressor. Absolutely, it is so good. There's some settings that need tweaking. I feel the Opto is one that Sean in the conversation the other day explained that they went for. This vocal setting that people tend to like in studios where they bias it differently. There's like the bias dial thing, or it's the sidechain bias or whatever it is, where it gets grittier in the mids. And so that's why the Opto setting on the Brick Lane sounds quite different than what people expect. But I definitely love the VCA compressor on it. The Opto one sounds great. I actually have a podcast video on the AudioBoi's podcast coming this week where we dialed it in to sound more like a traditional LA2A. I've got like an LA2A style compressor over here, up in the racks, right up top, up here. It's the 1LA, and we dialed it in to sound much more like that, and it sounded great. And you can save your presets, like so if you put the preset in, it stores it, and you can keep that there. The new MC4 will have many save states that you can have for all these sounds. So that MC4 will be absolutely excellent. I've got to head out, send you an email. Thanks, man. Gate on snare is closing really fast. Yeah, so it will be a fast gate, and then because the song's fast, and then the rooms will fill it in. So I don't mind my toms and snares being a bit choppy in isolation if the rooms are going to fill in those tails. You'll hear it in context in a minute. But yeah, let's EQ it. And you'll hear there once I add that reverb to the snare, and we get that real, you know, kind of nicer tail to what we've got. So I'm going for like a very short, snappy, kind of aggressive sounding snare. And then I'm just going to put gold clip back on. And gold clips just to grab like rogue transients of my shells, basically. And you can hear there already the kick and snare have a better energy and tonality to them, just with some extra kick and snare compression and some slight EQ on top of what we did in tracking, right? So it's just getting the right energy there in the mix. And I'll solo up the drums just so you can hear them in context just to the drums. Yeah, and it's kind of there. There's a bit of a choppy edit going from the tom part to the verse chorus part. Cool, what do we got? The Brick Lane gives us, oh yeah, we already answered that one. That's the thing now with out of the box gear. They have went all out now for recall, as that was the main difference. Yeah, like the cool thing is that, yeah, like there's a bunch of companies like Cranborbe, what are some other ones that are doing like recall and stuff? Where's Audio? There's a couple that are doing recall in their hardware units, and it's going to become the standard. And I think things like having distortion saturation dials and things like that, like things that plugins typically have, are now showing up in hardware as well. So both platforms are pushing each other to do more innovation, which is cool for all of us, right? Anyway, so that's our kick and snare. Now I'm going to do toms. We'll get all the shells sounding right first, and then we'll start working with the whole drum sound after that. So toms, what we do on toms typically is run them through a Neve style EQ. I've got my sound sculptors over here. And then one of my favorite compressors for toms is the DBX 163, which is like a lesser known DBX. It's these here. And what they are is a, it's like a one button slider compress more thing. And that's all it does. But it has a sound and you'll hear it. It's cool. Yeah. So we'll start dialing that in. Give me a sec. All right. The toms. Oops. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Where's our toms? Now, usually I wouldn't use trigger to gate toms. I would manually gate toms. But I, once again, didn't have a lot of time. So this is our just rack tom. We'll start with rack tom first. And I'm gonna have to set those buses up. God, man, I've got to try and chase down the people from Cubase, from Yamaha Steinberg, about with their software. There's this weird thing where I can't just have things saved for external presets for these. Like my inputs and outputs I can save and just recall them. I can just go, oh, give me a preset. but I can't do it for the external effects, and I need these all the time. It's a very frustrating thing. Okay, whatever. So now, if you see the inserts here, like Thomann, that's my hardware. That's me going to actual hardware there. So we're on this one. So this will be Tom 1, this will be Tom 2. I'm just going to shorten that for a sec, just so we can just hear the tom on a bit of a shorter loop. And now I'm going to bypass that. So it's literally just the Neve 1073 NEQ going to that DBX. And I'll bypass it, have a listen. Tom's done. It's so good. I agree, solo don't matter much in context. I rarely do EQ moves in solo now. Yeah. So you'll see me making moves in solo to demonstrate what I'm doing, but I'm always going to play it back in context so people can actually hear it, because that's what matters. The 160 VU is a one-trick pony too, but I love the trick on parallel drum shells. Yeah. Oh, you have the Audioscape. Dude, that thing looks cool. Everything Audioscape do looks amazing. Yeah, so I have a bunch of like DBX-y kind of things. I have the 163s, which just have a fatness for toms. I have these 160Xs, which everyone should be familiar with. They're pretty snappy. I've got to get back into them at some point, and the 166 is kind of cool too. But these 163s are like one of my favorite compressors. And yeah, it's super dope. Super dope compressor. Yeah, just kind of this big fat kind of thing, which you can hear it doing. DBXs just have this attack to them as well. There's this snappy attack thing they have as a VCA style compressor, but the 163s just have more bottom end than some of the other ones. Yeah, super dope for toms in particular, that low mid kind of roundness, which you can hear there. Let's go to floor tom. Get that loop. I might just get this loop here. And that's sounding all right. I might tighten up the lows a bit. And you'll see that I do a little bit of surgical EQ, like just, cleaning up, of stuff in just before I hit my analog gear. All right, tom 2. Is that playing? It might be, oh, I can see what it is. Hang on. We've got like a goofy thing happening with the return there for some reason. Cool, so I've got those both dialed in. I'm going to loop them. Something going on with the return being a bit low for some reason. We might have to figure that out later. Ghost in the machine. We'll just have to run with it for today. Let's have a listen in the mix. Cool, and I'm going to solo, I'll get a better loop. And we'll solo the drums so you can hear it now. Stay up. Oh, let me just solo drums for you. Yeah, and there we are. Like, we've got it there. There should be a better tail maybe on the floor tom. So I'm just going to see if I can get that to work. It might have been the way I played it. I might have to fix that in editing and maybe put a better, like maybe cut the tom a bit. But yeah, we're kind of getting there. And we'll hear it in the context of the song, so you can hear the lyrics and stuff going. And we're kind of cooking now. Latest problems I can't work out, fills my mind with fear and doubt. Keep me near, but I'll keep you far. Get too close and it could leave a scar. I can be dumb, but I don't forget. So don't say something you might regret. Am I wasting? Are you wasting time? Yeah, so the tom part in that thing now is pumping, right? So we've got the right energy, the right attack going on for the toms, kick and snare are getting there, and all of this is going to come up even more as we start doing bus processing. We've got to do some parallel stuff. Do you want to patch in the stressors?
Yeah.
So we'll do them on 5 and 6.
Cool.
Yep.
Wake up late, a midnight coffee to seal my fate. Latest problems I can't work out, fills my mind with fear.
Yeah, and it doesn't take much, right? Like it's really quick and easy to dial in those tones when you have some great analog EQs like I have with the Neves, and then those Brick Lanes, you know, in the rack down here on snare and kick, you know, and then the 560s from Z&H for kick and snare are amazing. The fatness and attack I get in the high frequency band from the Neves is just always perfect for toms. It's like, it's my go-to. The fatness you get, and then you run into those 163s and they just work, man. Sometimes you just find those right tools that just do a thing. But yeah, if anyone's curious, those 163s, they come up from here and there, like online, here and there. You can get them usually pretty affordably, like, you know, in Australia, maybe $300-400 a unit. So they're not crazy expensive. They're getting rarer and rarer to find, like all this kind of stuff. So yeah, but they're cool. They can be great on guitars and bass as well. And some people love them on a vocal chain as well. Sometimes I use them on vocals when I'm doing live streams or other things, because it's just an easy way to level a vocal, because you just slide it up and then it works. So it's a real utility tool. Can I ask, your metering Cubase, what are they set to? Peak. Everything's on peak at the moment.
Fear and doubt, keep me near, but I'll keep you far. Get too close and it could leave a scar. I can be dumb, but I don't forget. So don't say something you might regret.
Cool. All right.
What are the other options?
Hey.
What are the other options?
Other options?
Yeah,
for metering, you can have like RMS and
Okay.
there's different scales of metering and that, but these are just full scale, DBS full scale peak.
Yeah.
I always have them set to peak. You need to know what's happening peak, so you're not clipping your hardware and stuff like that. But yeah, so what's tricky, we've got something, there's always going to be funky stuff going on when we're running these live streams, because we're trying to do so much hardware related stuff. So yeah, today there's something funny going on with the tom. Our signal's just a bit low, but whatever. We can run with that for today. Doesn't sound bad, it's just lower than it should be. Let's get the shells going. So this will be the last part of doing shells, and then we'll go through and do our cymbals, like overheads, rooms, and all that stuff, and then we'll do drum bus and wrap it up. So shells bus, usually what I'm going to do is go brick lanes on something and then distressors on the other thing. So kick and snare might be distressors, and then shells bus would be brick lanes, or vice versa. So today we did kick and snare on the brick lanes, so the shells bus is going to be distressors. And I'll show you in a sec. So we've just got to, once again, I'll make sure I have this routed next time. Shells bus. So we have our, shells is, if anyone's not a drummer, shells, you know, your close mics, kick, snare, toms, and I just put them all to a bus on their own and just smash the crap out of them through whatever compressors that's going to do what I want. Usually it's something that's going to be, you know, have some energy, some clipping. The classic thing to do is like toms through distressors. It's one of the go-to things. So I'll kick over to those. And what we're going to do, we're going to put them all the way to nuke, classic, smash them. Distortion 2, sorry, is like, it's supposed to be tubey, I think, like, I always forget the order of harmonics, and 3 is supposed to be more like tape, and it's much more distorted. I usually just use 2, distortion 2. I'm just going to get these sitting right. Cool, so we're just doing like a mono smash.
Up early and wake up late. A midnight coffee to seal my fate. The latest problems I can't work out. Fills my mind with fear and doubt. Keep me.
is the kick and snare will come right up the middle because they're basically just smashing everything in a mono kind of thing, and they're going to bring things more up the middle. It's going to be more in your face. The kick and snare are going to have more attack. There's going to be some extra tails added into things like the kick and snare. So like that thing where the tails were kind of dropping off, this is going to just smash them and bring out the tails more. Yeah, all of that good stuff. All the stuff we like, once I take it away, you'll realize what was lacking in the mix. Bravo, sounds great. Thanks, Porch Bass. I don't know if you've joined the stream before. Have you seen that guy before? Shout out. Thanks, man. It's getting there. So we're up to Shell's bus. Let's just keep. And it's just about adding how much you need to taste to get that right energy. Yeah. And if you wanted something really aggressive, we can just crank it. And for this song, it kind of suits it being way loud. Like, we could probably get away with it. Yeah, so you can really hear like how much energy the distressors bring. So it's this like cumulative thing that we start getting from all the analog gear, you know, and different tools for different jobs, right? Like distressors are going to give aggression and attack. They're going to do like what a VCA does, attack and snappiness, but also grit and stuff like that. And I'll solo that up just so you can hear it again in isolation, what it's doing. And I'll put it on. Like you can hear, like this is to do more with my playing. That's not the right screen. There we go. My kick and snare are lacking energy in the chorus a little bit. And I was just not, like, we were trying to track this really quickly yesterday and I didn't play it, hadn't rehearsed it before. I didn't play it great. So if I needed more of that kick and snare just in the chorus, we could just automate that up. In the chorus and stuff, which I kind of did with the fader, and I'll show you kind of what I'm talking about in a sec, but yeah. So that's it, gone. You know, and then it just brings up all that low mid energy and stuff that we want more of. Oh, and I forgot my reverb was off too. Yeah, and I mean, we're really getting there now. Bravo, sounds great. When I compress kick, I always end up with lower than 4 ratio and higher than 15 milliseconds attack. Yeah, I think it depends on the compressor you use. Like different compressors, 15 milliseconds can mean different things wildly. Like 15 milliseconds for one compressor isn't the same for others. So I'd be keen to know when you say those settings, like what compressor you mean in regards to ratio and attack and stuff. Yeah, cool. Let's keep cooking. So I'll just do some tidy up on the rooms and overheads and things that I haven't maybe EQ'd so far. Now we've got a better picture of the shells. Now we need to make sure everything's like sitting nicely, and then we're going to compress the drum bus. which I don't even know what we're going to use yet. Maybe the SSL. Maybe we'll patch the SSL in just for fun. Usually I have my SSL on my master bus, but for today, because we're just mucking around with drums, I can show you that maybe. Or we can use a plugin. I don't even care for drum bus, really. Yeah, I have to be careful what plugin I put on though, because I can't show the secret one. I don't want to spoil it. I'll get in trouble. It's under embargo, so I can't say anything. But that's the one I would be using if I could show you. It's a cool plugin, so stay tuned for that.
You're using.
Oh, 369. That's 369. Yeah, we haven't used that yet. Yeah, of course. What am I thinking? Do you want to patch that in while I'm EQing stuff? Yeah, we'll put the Behringer 369 on. Of course. What am I thinking, dude? I should have known I was forgetting one of them. That's why we have Hato here, everyone. Hato's here to save me from my own foibles.
And patch things wrong.
What's that?
And patch things.
Patch things wrong. No, we all do that. What do we got left? 7/8?
7/8.
Yeah, 7/8's perfect. Yeah. Cool. So I'm going to clean up, and then we'll do the 369. What am I doing? Screen capture.
Close and it could leave a scar. I can be dumb, but I don't forget. So don't say something you might regret. It's getting hot.
All right. So let's go to our overhead. And they're not sounding too bad. I've actually got some EQ on them. Cool, I got them pretty low in the mix for this one. I'm going to get a lot of cymbals from my rooms as well. So they're just adding some sizzle to the tops and some picture of the drums from above. It's fine. Cool, so this is the R88. Now, if you have never had the luxury of using an R88, man, they're very nice, very, very nice microphone to have. Shout out Mitta and Mitta for lending it to Lachlan and Lachlan to bringing it along. He was like, do you want the R88? And I was like, yes, please. Bring it. So all I'm hearing is there's a bit too much low end. Whoa, this is one of those template things I've got to fix later. It's a bit crazy. I don't want to, this is a fast song, so I don't want too much bloom and low end in the kick. Hertz can get a bit out of control in my room. That sounded pretty good to me. And you can see just with these two pairs of mics, the cymbals are getting quite loud. So if you were wondering why the overheads were so low, you're getting quite a lot of cymbals from the room mic. So the R88s were about a couple of meters back from the drums, right? So they're a close room pair. I used the Owner Drama Comp. It worked well as a smash. Yeah, I've used the Dramas before. They're not bad at all. Same kind of deal, that VCA snappy kind of thing. Very cool comp. They had that classic gate that people used to use in studios as well, the Drama gate, which is cool. Hey?
I haven't heard of Drama.
No?
No.
They've got 500 series ones now too. Yeah, check them out. Yeah, Drama's a cool one. And then this is our dining mics once again. So this was the RM5s. And there is a bit of boominess to them at the moment. So I'm just going to eat into the lows a little bit more. Yeah, I haven't rolled them off above 50 yet, so I'll take a little bit of that off. And that kind of 180, 200 is getting a little bit tubby. I've got them linked, silly me. Let me unlink them. I'm going to roll them off a little more. There's this kind of funny, like kind of frequency I want to get rid of. Whoops. I'm hearing something that I want to notch out. And like I could use Soothe or something to get rid of that. I'm funny with Soothe. Does anyone like Soothe in the chat? I always have issues with phasiness when I use Soothe. I don't love it. I really struggle to like it. I've got it, but I prefer to just pick the right mic and not get issues. Yeah, I love dining mic. We clean up and perfect. Yeah, yeah, Kev, this week and last week you were like, dining mic, dining mic. It's just a cool sound. It's got this big bombastic energy. And just remember, part of the secret to that is whatever mic is out there, we're smashing it, like not smashing it, like probably like 4 to 6 dB of gain reduction on the Behringer 369. That's like part of this. It really brings up what's happening out there fully. Like the microphone just out there alone just has a cool sound, whichever mics we put out there, but that Behringer really helps bring it up. And it always sounds cool. It's just a character mic. Just if you ever get the luxury of recording in a bigger space or have a spill space you can open up to and use as like a chamber reverb, it's just where you put your mics to get that big, huge drum energy. Cool. I think we're pretty much ready for some bus compression. No. What do you mean by no? Anyway.
I think it's talking about Soothe.
Soothe. No, yeah, no on Soothe. Can we hear too much dining mic, please? More dining mic? Dude, for sure. I'm just going to turn them off. That was like a tail that I missed, but I think it's fine now.
Come work out, fills my mind with fear and doubt.
Just so you know, you can't have too much dining mic.
Yeah. You should just record the whole kit, just the dining mic.
Yeah, dude, totally. I don't like Soothe, probably a fixed thing, which is, yeah, dude, totally. Yeah, totally. I agree with you, Kev.
Near, but I'll keep you far. Get too close.
So this is the dining mics getting cranked up now. I'll take them away and the drum sound just disappears. And I'll just loop especially the tom bit. It sounds great. And it's just that thing, like, it always puts a smile on my face hearing it, because it's something like, I've got reverbs on the shells, like so kicks, snare and toms, and a tiny, I actually do send my kick a tiny bit in the send to a reverb, the snare reverb, just to get the, and I have it filtered, so it's just for the beater of the kick to get a little bit of reverb on it, but not much, just a tiny bit. But the dining mic setup, you just don't get that same energy. It's just a thing. Is serving us well. Yeah, that's definitely gonna have to be a shirt that we make up on merch. Dining mic forever. Cool. So then we've just got to put our bus compression on. And like, remember when we do bus compression, it's going to bring up the rooms and all that kind of craziness as well.
Stay up early and wake up late. A midnight coffee to seal my.
And already, like, we're hearing how much better, like, compared to the bass and vocal, the drums are sitting perfectly, like, almost perfectly. Like, we're getting there.
Feel my fate. Latest problems I can't work out. Fills my mind.
Like, the energy's there, and they're wrapping around the bass and vocals and filling the space and the arrangement. Cool. Let's get this patched in. So we need, where's my drum bus? 7 and 8, yeah? 7 and 8. Here we go. All
The
right.
last thing in the dining room that like flavors the sound.
What's that?
The last thing you eat in the dining room, it like flavors the sound.
Yeah, nice. It's funny when you take it away. Yeah. Yeah, it just lacks, right? Like the sound is just not there without it. It becomes such a big sound, and it that room mic, like far room mic thing, like what we're doing with our dining mic, is like a very classic thing done. Where just think of like chamber reverbs. That's what they were doing. They were sending the drums to the chamber or just letting it spill into a certain area, and they'd put usually a ribbon or some kind, like you can do whatever mic you've got really, but a ribbon or the right LDC, like a FET 47, is usually the right choice. Yeah, ribbons are really great for that because they have the rear lobe, so they pick up a different sense of the space. And in Bloomline, they sound excellent, obviously, in this setting as well. All right, cool. Let's get this compressor going. So, drum bus.
Mind, fear and doubt.
So give me a sec. I'm going to cut to the phone. Whoop, not that one. This one. All right, so we're on to the 369. Let's get this bad boy going. That is slapping and it still sounds good. Now I'm going to turn that down a bit. Cool, and what I tend to notice is slow attack. So maybe I should explain this compressor a bit better actually. So let's pull it in. Oh God, this is like the hardest thing to show. Hang on a second, guys. I'll drop my stand again. All right, so the hardest thing, sorry, what am I saying? The thing with the, this 369, so this is a 33609 style compressor, right? And the funny thing is that the compressor section, and particularly the gain, feeds into the limiter. So a lot of people have trouble getting the limiter to sound right, but the gain stage feeds back into the limiter. And it's a feedback design. It's funny like this one. But I noticed that the slow attack on compression, you'll notice a change where the kick drum, for instance, will get bigger and boomier on slow. Fast, it'll sound snappier. Have a listen. And it's really just, what do you want? Like, do you want the bottom end of the kick drum to like bloom and have more of that energy, or do you want it to be snappier? And then kind of the same with the limiter. So both on fast. But I don't mind either. But we might go fast today, and we'll just see in the context of the mix, because that's what really matters. Actually, we'll keep it on.
Stay up early and wake up late. A midnight coffee to seal my fate. The latest problems I can't work out. Fills my mind with fear and doubt. Keep me near, but I'll keep you far. Get too close and it could leave a scar. I can be dumb, but I don't forget. Stay up early and wake up late. A midnight coffee to seal my fate. The latest problems I can't work out. Fills my mind with fear.
Yeah, what do you guys reckon? I actually think I like it on fast for this track. The low end bloom can be a bit too much. Do you time align the far mic at all? Good question. Do you mean the the R88 in the room, like the close room mic, or the far room mic? The answer is the same to both. I don't time align. But the reason why I don't time align is because I check phase in tracking, right? So going back to like using hardware and all this sort of stuff, when we track, we will like flip the polarity of all the mics and make sure everything's phase aligned and, you know, nothing's, you know, out of phase. And then if we hear that something's out of phase or not in phase, like if it's out of phase perfectly, that's fine because you just flip it, right? So if we hear something like that, we'll either like flip polarities and get it right, and then if nothing's right, then we'll move things. But the dining mic, for instance, is so far away, it's not at all correlating to phase anymore. It's basically a reverb. It's so far away. It's just nothing about the phase really affects it, except low end, like low frequency, those low frequency waves. We talked about this last week. They'll travel through the wall a bit and get to the mic. And because they're so big, they just wrap around everything. So you do still have to filter your lows in the room mics and the dining mics, because those waves get there earlier, because the high frequencies have to bounce around to kind of get outside into that room, the dining mic, for instance, whereas, yeah, the lows will get there actually sooner, which is funny. So they can actually still cause phase problems, but it's like this messy phase thing that you just sort with filtering. It's not really a time thing, once again, because they're so far away. Oh, cool. Fast limiter, slow com. I'll do that in a sec. Does the ratio affect... Hang on, I've got to scroll back through this. Sorry, I missed some questions. It's feedback, so it behaves different in the comp setting. Yeah, so... hang on, I've got to go back through some things. All right, it's a feedback. So yeah, so a feedback compressor, as you push it, it goes back into itself, or in this case, into the limiter stage. Ratio effect release time. There's release on the compressor already. Fast tightens it up a lot considering the tempo is faster. Yeah. Bass sounds better when you compress fast? Depends on what you're doing. Yeah, it depends completely on what you're doing, I guess. It depends on what you're trying to grab, you know, right? Like, what are you trying to grab? What are you trying to leave alone? Yeah, it's all just dependent. I just use my ears, man. Like, I don't think too much about it anymore. I just, like, the beauty of analog is you just flick dials and you go, what's it doing? Okay, it's doing that. Sweet. What do I want, you know, in the context of the mix? Let's try the fast limiter slow comp for a sec. I would have had it on that anyway, but let's just try it. Whoops.
Fear and doubt, keep me near, but I'll keep you far. Get too close and it can leave a scar. I can be dumb, but I don't forget. Stay up early and wake up late. A midnight coffee to seal my fate. The latest problems I can't work out. Fills my mind with fear and doubt. Keep me near, but I'll keep you far. Get too close and it can leave a scar. I can be dumb, but I don't forget. Stay up early and wake.
I'll solo the drums. So for me, the low end gets a bit too much on slow compressor into that limiter. It's just bringing up too much of the lows. It sounds cool, but in context of the track and how tight it'll probably need to sound, it gets a bit too much. The bass guitar, I meant. Yeah, Ken. As Bob used to say, I just turn knobs till it sounds good. The great thing about out of the box. Dude, totally. Because like we kind of mentioned this last week as well. When you're on a plugin, you tend to, even though you're turning dials and stuff, the numbers show up. We start focusing on where things are looking and if it's too much. Hardware, because your screen's here and the hardware's here or here, you kind of just start turning stuff and just, you know, you just go for it. And it's a different tactile thing. It feels different. And you kind of just stop caring as much. And the other thing you can do with hardware, like that bus compressor is hitting pretty hard on the meters. I think we're getting to what? About 8 dB of, and sounds sick. So, you know, you just get away with a little bit more. The last thing I would typically do on drums on bus is just once again put a clipper on. And yeah, there's two, if anyone's interested in this, this is Gold Clip. Hang on a sec, put it down so you can actually see what I'm doing. On the individual channels like kick and snare, I'll do the Gold Clip track. This is the bus version of Gold Clip, and I'll just use like a soft clipper typically, and very gently just grab peaks. I'm not trying to do anything too crazy. And like, I'm just trying to get anything that pokes out a little bit too much, as you can see, just to keep a final level of control. That's it. It's really not doing much at all. And it's just, so once I get to my instrument bus, the drums are sitting pretty and they're not getting in the way of anything. And you can see here over on my instrument bus, we're hitting about -6 dB. So we're at a good level to then go into like mastering and master bus processing. Hey Mitch, awesome stream. Oh, Michael, dude, so good to see you in the stream, my man. Michael's the dude in Amaranth, that band, the metal band that I saw last year. Yeah, dude, legendary, dude. Thanks for dropping in, man. So, Michael is an amazing singer in the band Amaranth. If anyone wants to check them out, so cool. Cheers, dude. Yeah, man, I bet you would never have to use... I bet you would never have as much on a plugin. Yeah, because we're hearing with our eyes. Plugins, I find, the plugins struggle once you get to like 6, 8, definitely 10 dB of gain reduction. Plugins start to fall apart. They really struggle with more than 10 dB of gain. I have so many compressors that you can hit 10 dB of gain reduction and they still sound good. So there is a limit to plugins. So My philosophy is heavy lifting with hardware and then lighter duties with plugins, because you'll just get away with more that way. So leave your heavy lifting for your hardware kind of thing. Yeah, cool. From Sales, cheers. Cheers, Michael. Pre-ordered the Brick Lane MC4 out of the door from this vendor I know. It's already, yeah, it's gone up. Yeah, dude, that's wild. Winning. That's if I ever get it though. Dude, yeah, you'll get it. They're definitely coming. As I said, I spoke to Sean. They're definitely coming. It's just everyone, anyone that's trying to do certain things like capacitors, certain components manufacturing wise are being held up because of all the global supply chain issues. Things like helium not being available. And then also, it's not just the stuff happening in the Middle East. It's the stuff happening with data centers. Getting cabling for this studio. We need more cabling in here, and it's so hard to find certain cables because it's all going to bloody data centers for AI. Sucks. Anyway, yeah, good luck, dude. The MC4 is going to be a beast. The de-esser on it is going to be sick. I can't wait for that. A de-esser with look ahead. Damn, dude, that's going to be so good to have. Let me keep finishing up on this drum bus thing, and then I'll take some questions if anyone's got questions. All right, cool. Then... Go from the start.
Stay up early and wake up late. A midnight coffee to seal my fate. Latest problems I can't work out. Fills my mind with fear and doubt. Keep me near, but I'll keep you far. Get too close and you can leave a scar. I can be dumb, but I don't forget.
Whoops. And I don't... God damn it. I always stitch myself up with loops. Here we go.
Don't say something you might regret.
There's a bit of a dodgy edit there. Forgive me, guys. Yeah, there we go. And like you can see the drums are more consistent through the track. The energy's there the whole way through the track. Like the chorus, like that middle section still needs a bit of work. That's more to do with my playing. But like, yeah, the snare needs to come up and be adjusted probably on a separate track and like treat it a little bit differently before hitting the compressor. Stuff like that, that I would do if I had more time. But the thing I'm hearing now is because the drums have so much energy, we can play with the bass a little bit and get that going and just bring up the bass guitar, because your bass and your drums are always going to fight a bit. From Seals, I sold my NG76 and my X-Max for it. Going to use the side chain to run through my API 512. Oh, whoa, you're going to say, yep, cool. Stem Audio, NG Tube Comp, Black Box. Whoa, dude. Yeah, sick. That is a very cool chain to have, man. Very cool. Awesome stuff. Yeah, cool. All right, let me keep going. So I'm going to work on the bass for a second and just get that energy right, to sort of stick with the drums where we need it. So just give me a sec. Let's quickly tidy this up.
Stay up early and wake up late. A midnight coffee to seal.
Cool, and I'm just going to put a bit of drive on this as well, I think. See how we go.
Get too close and you can leave a scar. I can be dumb, but I don't forget. So don't say something you might regret.
And then we'll just put a bit of compression on there. I have a few compressors, you'll laugh, but one of my favorites still to this day is the CLA76. It just works, man. It does this thing to the mids that I like. So classic old CLA76 on bass, man, it just does a thing. I don't know. There you go, like that growl. It just does that. I don't know. I struggle with other 1176 compressors to get that same mid-range growl. Yeah, like we're pretty much there. I don't know what else we could do to make that much better than where we're at, besides better editing and vocal mixing and arrangement and stuff like that. There's some vocal stuff I've got to do on this track, maybe some guitar bits. Damn, that bass does, yeah, yeah, it's so silly. Yeah, it just does a thing. It's really cool. Yeah, I really do not like analog 1176. They have so much noise. They can, yeah, they absolutely can. I've got the Lin 76 over here. Let me swap cameras. Whoops, not that one. That one. That Lin 76, and all I use it for is actually a distortion box. I use it to smash like my crotch mic on drums. It's too gritty, too distorted. They tend to add too much 200 hertz to me, and I don't love them. But yeah, that CLA one has this growl in the low mids to mids that just always works for the way I track and mix bass. Yeah. The 1178 might be better for clean. Yeah, they can be. No need for gear anymore. Would rather spend it on other things now. Pandora to fill my rack. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a pretty good setup, dude. Cool. Let's have a quick listen. Yeah, actually there's a bit of energy lacking in the chorus now, and I think what it is we need the guitars in the chorus section to come up a little bit. And like we've got more space to play with because the drums are tidier but more energetic. So I'm just going to work on this for a sec.
Just before.
Huh?
Just one question just before. It was like, do you mix different sections separate, like in a different way? Which is kind of relating to what you're doing now. The up a little bit. Probably bass or whatever it's called.
Porch bass?
Yeah.
Will you do mix moves between sections? Yeah, so typically, like on a song like this, what I would do, so now we got the drums sitting pretty, what I would do is actually bounce this stuff out, right? So I'll do that at the end of the session once we close that off, and then maybe next week I can show you what I do post that to do the rest of the track, like once I've edited vocals and done the drums properly, things like that. So typically what I'll do, I'll just show you really quickly because that's a really great question on how I approach this stuff. Because we're running through analog, and then I want to use some of these bits maybe on vocals or bass or usually just vocals actually, like backing vocals or whatever. I might want to run vocals through a distressor, but I'm already using the distressors. So I'm not scared to commit these tracks, right? So what I would do is I would go in, if my editing on the drums was 100%, which it's rough today, I know. What I would do is commit these, and then what I have hidden, you can't see, is a folder for all my bounced tracks. I'll just bring that up here. So I bounce my kick, my snare, my shells, anything that I'm running through processing, they get bounced. And oh yeah, I don't know why my vocal bounces aren't there. Oh, vocal lead bounce, there we go. And then I have vocal bounce track things as well. Yeah, so we basically bounce those things and commit them to tracks. And then, because it's analog, you get away with processing them even further. So say my editing was spot on, I'm kind of happy with the snare, but it needs more volume or something in the chorus. I would just, after it's bounced, I would take that snare and then process it separately for the chorus again and just get it to do something else. Maybe just clip gain up the shells in that section. So I don't have to have, it's basically a way of not doing automation. One, because I hate automation, I'm a bit lazy. I don't like automation because it gets in the way of recalls. And so anything that I can do where I can commit something and then just put it on another track and clip gain it up or clip gain it down instead of automation lines, makes it easier for recall. Especially like later on if I have to go back through hardware or any other crazy shit I'm doing. Because automation can be really annoying when you're using outboard gear. Commit and move forward. Yeah, man, absolutely. I had the Serpent Audio 76 as well. Cool. I use 1176 from Hairball with the mod. I want to get the Blue Stripe 1176. Which one do you have, Michael? I always forget. Do you have the black or the blue? Which one do you actually have? I'm keen to know. Did I miss anything else? I find I need to deox my TRS leads once in a while to keep good connection and noise down. Yeah, interesting. Yeah. Yeah, I'm keen to know which one Michael has from Hairball, because Michael also builds gear and stuff. He has some pretty cool bits. Cool. We're almost done for today. I might wrap up a bit earlier. The black one. Yeah, cool. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah. Sick. Oh yeah, I'll get going on these chorus guitars. Let me hide that stuff. See, I got distracted. Guitars. All right, so we need a bit more of these. Yeah, and then what I need to do, I'll show you. Hang on. Stitching myself up. So I've got this, when we tracked guitars yesterday, we did the one layer of guitars. Whoops. Oh, God. We did one layer of guitars in the left and right, but this section here is obviously chorus. So then what I'm going to do is duplicate. I'm doing it the lazy way for now, and then I'm going to pan that. Whoops, oops. Oh no, I can't do that. Hang on, what have I done? I've got to put it on the other chorus guitar. In a sec. I'll pop it there, and then that one we'll pan the other way. Oh God, I'm messing up all my buttons. Save me, Hato.
Don't worry, I'll get the patch back.
Yeah. So that one can go the other side. And Lachlan, shout out to Lachlan on this one. He was using the Gary pedal, which is an Idols pedal, and it has this crazy fuzz breakup. If anyone's familiar with the band Idols, yeah, he's a massive fan of that band. That's what we're kind of going for in this song a little bit as well. And it just does this crazy breakup. It's a wild pedal. There we go. And it's all about arrangement, right? Oh God, what am I doing today? Killing myself. So now we should get what I just want is a bit of a lift as we get into the chorus. And so the guitars will help there. Obviously the vocal arrangement, once I'd mix those, would get there as well. But let's just have a listen.
But I don't forget, so don't say something you might regret.
what I could do, once again, like I said before, and Porch Bass was asking about, drop your name if you haven't already, because I didn't get your name. I'm always trying to remember everyone's name. If I can, if I go to the Shells bus, where's it hiding? There it is. Right, I could go to bar 19 and draw this sucker in, right? And then we could just crank it up a little bit and get a little bit more of that kick and snare Shells energy into the chorus section. And then that little lift of the Shells bus and the lift of the guitars will get us there energy-wise, just to give it a lift in the chorus so it feels like the song's elevating, you know? Let's listen to that.
I can be dumb, but I don't forget. So don't say something you might regret. Am I wasting time? Wasting time. Why do I get when I know it's fine? Can't tell if it's your problem.
Yeah, there we go. And then I stitch myself up with that loop again. We'll just listen to the tail out of that. Man, Sarah's voice at that outro is so good. So good, man.
good.
If you guys ever get to see Sarah, if you've watched my channel actually, we did a like Fleetwood Mac style song for a Mark Daniel Nelson Slate collaboration plugin, their drum package. And me, Hato, my partner Laura, and her sister, my sister-in-law Sarah, were on that. Sarah did lead vocals on that one. So if you go to my channel, and you see Sarah, she's like shorter than me, which is pretty short, and she's just screaming her heart out on this track. It's just killer. So good.
She definitely suits this style a bit more than the Fleetwood stuff.
What does?
Sarah's vocals.
Yeah.
She kills this track.
Yeah, dude, it's so good, eh? So good. Yeah, she wants to do like punk band stuff. She's writing her own music at the moment. Yeah, and she's kind of working her way up to doing some stuff.
Right.
Cool. Yeah, and we're almost done. What I would do now, so just to check where we're at, right? Like I might go and start messing about with the master bus, right? So we are getting pretty. I probably do have to gain stage a bit better on this, so I might have to go back, or I can just turn my instrument bus down. And then we can kind of pull some things down a bit, just so we've got some headroom to hit them up. Let me just get to the loudest part of the song. So I have pushed in a bit harder than I normally would into the instrument bus. Whoa, yep, that's going to be wrong. That's it. So I might also clip just a little bit again on my instrument bus just to grab anything else, just soft stuff. Now, I use Mark Daniel Nelson's MDN tapes for widening more than anything, and maybe a bit of low end bump. It's got this widening function here. That's off. And then on, and it just adds width. It's just this cool widening plugin. I love it. It does saturate a little bit too, which is going to suit this song. I've got another clipper if I need it, and then the L2. Whoa, let's turn that down a bit. know, and I'll just be checking stuff to see, you know, where are my drums hitting? Are they hitting the limiter at the final stages too much?
The latest problems I can't work out fills my mind with fear and doubt. Keep me near, but I'll keep you far. Get too close and it could leave a scar. I can be dumb, but I don't forget. So don't say something you might regret. Am I wasting? Are you wasting time? Why do I get when?
And like now with those limiters on, I can hear the bass is fighting with my kick drum a little bit. So like I might go in and double check my multiband. That's doing its thing. It's just a little bit loud, maybe the bass. Yeah, and we're kind of there. And then if I wanted to go to like, I've always got reference tracks for certain styles of music. I might pull up a reference track. And I often, if I'm looking for reference for loudness, and I should take it back a step. Yeah, this tune is sick. Love the punchy drums. Break up with the guitars and vocals are insane. Yeah, dude. Cheers, Michael. That's huge coming from you too, man. I'll tell Sarah you said that. I love the Fleetwood Mac drum sound. Yeah, so we did a video on that. I'm pretty sure you caught that. And yeah, it's pretty sick. Cool. So the reason why I would start limiting stuff now is to make sure just before I commit stuff that I am, you know, 100% where I want to be when I would do a little bit more processing later on, you know, and just double check a couple of things before I commit my drums and whatever. And like I can pull up my reference tracks as well. As I was saying, like I love using pop music because it's the loudest and usually like some of the world's best producers are on it. So it's going to sound the best. And for something like this, like, even though it's not the same genre technically, there's this Olivia Rodrigo track that's called Bad Idea, right? And it's got this really distorted bass and distorted vocals. So for something like this, because it's pop focused, it's going to be distorted and gritty, but also very polished. So it's it's extremely loud LUFS wise. So I'll use that for something like this as a measuring stick, you know, like to know where I need to be. Whew, that's so loud.
Early and wake up late. A midnight coffee.
I'm out right now and I'm all fucked up.
Problems I can't work out. Fills my mind with fear and doubt. Keep me near, but
You're sending me your new address. I know we're done. I know.
So that is like so scooped but also much brighter. Like we've got this tilt shift kind of down this way where we're lacking in a bit of the highs. That song being a pop song is much brighter, much more scooped in the mids. So it gives me like obviously I'm not going to go for that sound on this song, but it gives me a idea of how bright I could go and how loud I could go on the limiter and stuff. So so I'm like, okay, well now, you know, I've got a reference track for that on where I might want to end up. I can start approaching like bus EQ and stuff like that if I wanted to brighten things up a little bit, you know.
I can be dumb, but I don't.
And like that might be a master bus thing. It might be just a drum bus thing for now because I'm focusing on drums. It might be an instrument bus thing. Cheers. Lafayette. Is that Romy? Romy, is that you in the chat, dude? Let me know, man. I'm assuming Lafayette, man. Fuck, dude. Yeah, dude, we got some gear now, dude. I don't know if we've chatted since I moved up to Newey a few years ago, but yeah, we've got some gear, man. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Romy. Dude, cheers for dropping in, my man. Cool. Let's do some EQing.
Don't forget, so don't say something you might regret.
Or do we just put the master bus in real quick? The master bus EQs.
Yeah.
Want to do that?
Yeah.
Just do the EQs, just the V250s on 1516. We'll do that.
SSL?
Nah. We won't worry about the SSL. I just want some EQ on it.
Cool.
For
Just,
today.
910 was it?
1516.
1560.
Yeah. Cool. Let me just double check those. So for, like, if I need a strong lift in the highs, I'll use typically my Z&H V250s, which are like a Sontec EQ thing. And I'll just check my master bus is going. Hang on a sec. Bum, 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 bum. 15, 16. Here we go. This is the last thing I'll do, just where I might end up later, you know, with it all. So let's just go there. Done. So good. So hang on a sec, I'll show you what I just did. So we've got the V250s here. I'll jack it up. Jack up the stand a bit. There we go. So you can see them. Hang on a second. So, oh man, now it's too high. Just can't win. There we go. These V250s right here, they're like a Sontec based EQ. They basically, I use them mainly for the high shelf, and we can crank the shit out of that. And what you'll find is you can pin them pretty hard. They sound excellent. So that's off. Now I'll go to the track. So off. God, how can I show this? No, I've got to set up a different, I have to set up a different panel. And then on. You know, and then we're getting into that loudness territory. Now that's Olivia Rodrigo track. If we go to the LUFS, it's going to be like pretty insane.
Come work out, fills my mind with fear and doubt.
Let's see where.
I'm right here with all my friends, but you're sending me your new address. I know we're done, I know we're through, but God, when I look at you, my brain goes, oh.
We're hitting like 10 there. Then
You might regret.
we're a bit louder than that. It's a bit crazy. Whatever. My low end probably needs a bit of work. I would probably go some Pro Q real quick, just to get it right. I'm getting some noise from some hardware. Don't worry about that. We're still way off. I really need time to finish the drums, commit them through the hardware, and then push them harder again. I'm not going to get close today at all to that. But like those tracks are like really good references, and to literally just go, nah, not even close yet. So what I would do next is go, okay, time to commit. I can get it brighter later if I need to, get it louder if I need to, and go from there. Cool. I think we're done for the day. Another fun Monday morning. Cheers from Brisbane. Thanks, man. What to try is the Luffs trick. Measure your, and bring the reference down to your level. Cool. That's me, my bro. Dude, so cool. I'll DM you after to catch up and let you focus on the stream. Killing it, man. Cheers, dude. I've seen some of the live stuff you're doing, Romy. Dude, Romy, legendary rapper from Sydney. I don't even know if you're still in Sydney, but DM me, man, for sure. That's it for today. It's 11:30. I've got to bounce and do some other work. Thanks for sticking in. We had some, you know, some people sticking in for this one for quite a bit, which is excellent. Good to see familiar people back in as well. If you have any questions, remember you can DM me over on Instagram. It's really easy to chat to me over there. The other alternative is you can email me at mitch@thediyrecordingstudio.com. What else am I forgetting? Yeah, I'll have some really cool content for next week. What's the date next Monday? Is it the 4th here? Hang on, what date is it? Hang on. My math is bad.
The 4th, yeah.
4th.
Oh, 3rd, sorry.
3rd.
on
Oh, it won't be out till the following week. The following week we might do a live stream with that plugin. Yeah, it won't be out yet. It won't be out till the 4th, I think. I got to double check. Anyway, yeah, so we might, I'll have a think. Yeah, we might finish this track. We might do some guitar-based vocal hardware stuff, maybe. I'll have a think. We've done a bit on drums, so maybe we'll work on some other instruments and stuff, which will be cool. Thanks so much for sticking in. I'll catch you all next week. Yeah, thanks again, guys. Love it. It's been a lot of fun doing this the last couple of weeks. Much more to come. I'll catch you soon. Peace. See you later. Thanks, Hato, as well. Thanks for Hato, as always, for assisting. Yeah, cool. Thanks so much, guys. I'll catch you soon.